go ahead with your RFPs and then see what rolls out and they can bid on it.
Yeah, the good news is we have several months of time to do our homework.
Yeah.
Councilor Ross?
Safety story. Yeah. Yeah, you're saying to be safety story. You're doing your due diligence. So let's get on with that. I support the motion. Let's get it.
All in favor of the motion? Request for proposals. Next.
Okay, the next topic is pump station 2. So throughout the course of the project, and especially in the past couple of months, South Huron's raised the issue of pump station 2 and some of the maintenance items there to be added to the project. So the joint board formally considered that at the last meeting. We had a presentation from Gamsby and Manor Row. The joint board passed a motion respecting their report, saying that recommendations 1, 2, and 3, so the short to medium-term recommendations for capital upgrades at the facility being undertaken. It's of import to South Huron because their environmental assessment has selected pump station 2 as preferred route to get to the sewage treatment facility. In their condition and capacity assessment, Gamsby and Manor found that there's enough spare capacity at the pump station for that to be a feasible long-term solution. In our peer review of that report, our engineer did have concerns with the methodology that was used. So what council is being asked now is whether or not they support adding the capital maintenance items to the scope of the project. The total at this point is $1.454 million. We are in the process of drafting a scope application change for BCF, so this would be in addition to that. My recommendation in here, I point out that I believe the question is twofold. The technical answer, I think, is pretty straightforward. We've got a 30-year-old asset that's run well up to this point. The engineer made a very good analogy that it's like having a 1970s era car. It's got a little bit of rust, a little bit of wear and tear, but it's still running pretty good. But it does need some repairs. At some point in the future, we'll have to do these repairs anyways, and we'll have to bear our share of the cost. So applying funding to it would be a cost-effective way of doing it. From the political side of things, we have to consider that BCF are the ones who determine whether or not it meets the scope of the project. And more importantly, I think we need to make sure they have a fair cost-sharing agreement with their partner.
Councilor Scott?
If we put this in with the Bill Canada, and that part is turned down, it would still be something that we could go back and talk to our partner about, and we could set up a way to pay for it or whatever.
Yeah, we set up a way to do something.
Like, it does not change the Bill Canada.
No, it doesn't. Bill Canada could say, the way I'm structuring the report or the scope application is that it would be twofold. We talk about the implementation change, so changing the sewage treatment plant to be a phased approach, and then in addition, adding this work on. So I'm hoping to give BCF a yes/no to 2 options.
Councilor Owen?
I guess I just want to ask you, Brent, about your recommendation around the capacity issue and having a common understanding of what.
Yeah, well, I think that's very important going forward, because that is the preferred route for South Huron, and they're working under the understanding that there is enough spare capacity. At this point in time, I don't have that comfort level that there is. I'm sure we could get there if we had our 2 consultants on the same page. It's important for us because we have a number of existing customers in Grand Bend already, and if we were to find out some way down the road that the engineer made a mistake, we'd have surcharge into our residents' homes, and that's not something we want.
Well, your recommendation here is that we authorize staff to retain a firm to work with Gamsby and Manor, right, to get that common understanding of capacity. And that's huge, and that's
planning for the long term.
Yeah.
That's recommendations 3 and 4 in the Gamsby Manor report.
Councilor Underwood?
Yeah, you mentioned that our engineer had some problems with the methodology. Can you expand a little bit on that? Is there showstopper or anything that we should really be able to concern about?
No, it is. I think a lot of it's a function of Dylan not having been at the site, or our operator having been at the site when Gamsby and Manor was doing their work.
Okay.
So there's a lot of questions that have been left unanswered, and it probably would take a meeting or 2 for them to sit down and for them to dialogue with each other.
But overall, this is a very good direction to go.
I think so. I think, if we're lucky enough to have a scope change and we can accomplish a lot of work at a 2/3 to a final answer of whether or not that is the long-term solution for South Huron and Blue Eye.
Counselor Lund.
I'm going to move that we adopt your 3 recommendations with respect to PS2.
Counselor Scott?
Is it seconded?
No? Are you seconding?
Sure.
Counselor Jones?
Well, just to, okay, clarify the 3, that does include the, obviously it'll be Dylan having to work with G&M.
So that was gonna be my next question.
I mean, who will it be? They've done the work. They did the peer review.
The building.
So that would be, is that the 3rd, is that number 3?
No, it's up to staff.
The 3 points, I think, 3 bullet
Can
points.
we
that have
review
been
the 3 points in the motion, so we have it?
Endorsing the support to add PS2 to the scope of the project and apply scope change. Authorize staff to retain professional term to work with Ken and Manor Road to achieve common understanding of the spare capacity and future flows. Staff to undertake negotiations with the other parking municipalities respecting the cost share formulas for upgrades. And that no work begin until an agreement is reached and the bill Canada funding is confirmed. Those are the 3 recommendations. That's there. Deputy Mayor Day?
Yes, a couple of questions. Through you to Brent. Brent, what do you expect the cost would be for this peer review or this analysis by another
I
engineer?
never know with engineers these days, but we get started and it would be half the price. You're probably looking in the $5,000, $10,000 range.
So you would think it'd be within our purchasing, perhaps within our purchasing?
Yeah, it would be within our purchasing. It could be within our purchasing cost.
Okay.
I would obviously ask for a cost of the work. I did send a note to Dylan a couple of weeks ago and haven't heard back. So that might be telling it of itself. I still would, I know there's a bit of a stigma of Dylan on this project. That's something we all understand. They would do the work the most cost efficient. Any other engineer that does this will have to start at the beginning and do their own peer review because they may not want to use somebody else's work.
So it makes sense that it was under $5,000, what was Dylan, if it's over, we would tender it.
Oh, yeah, I have to collect at least, I'm obligated to collect 3 quotes at that point anyways.
So if we're under 5 then, and they may because of their knowledge of the
Yeah.
subject matter.
Counselor Cook?
Well, just, if it's split with Blue Wire, would it be 10 or 5?
No, this is 100% life insurance.
South Huron has already did the Gams and Manor Road on their own, so we're doing our own.
Yeah, just on another question with regards to this. Tell me, one of the residents asked some questions with regards to compensation too, and the question is, does our contractor, does OMI CH2M Health actually have any obligation within their budget to do remedial work and maintenance and who actually monitors that, and were they doing that adequately? Do we have some evidences that they were
Yeah, we do.
doing that?
We meet with OMI on a monthly basis, so the ultimate responsibility is mine. This day-to-day lead is the project and infrastructure manager. He's the contract manager for OMI's contract. So the process is we meet on a month basis to review any operating issues. OMI works within an approved maintenance budget every year where they can spend up to $40,000 on maintenance items that they believe need to be completed in a day-to-day operation. Anything that's significant, like we would see here, they bring to our attention as we do the capital planning for every year. And then it's up to us to start to prioritize what we think is the highest priority to fit within the annual budget need. So they have been doing that. Obviously, I could go to my car and take a number of pictures of rust all over the place, and it'll look and paint a very bad picture. When I first looked at the presentation, yes, it seemed shocking because you see a lot of rust. So we posed the question to the engineers doing the work whether they felt it was negligent maintenance. They said it was not. They believed that the pump station's been maintained